Fellow Ugandans, I greet you, those that are watching us from within the country and those in the diaspora. Allow me to wish you a happy new year, but most importantly, to welcome all of us from the year 2020. It was such a challenging year, and right now we can all say Alhamdulillah. We can thank the Almighty God for delivering us from a year that was full of challenges. It was in 2020 that we were attacked by the global pandemic of COVID-19. This is when our nation was locked down, which lockdown came with a lot of economic challenges to very many Ugandans. But again, this is when the Museveni regime used this opportunity to borrow a lot of money, which money was not used to better our healthcare system, but the same money was used to continuously oppress our people. A big chunk of it was stolen, unfortunately. In this year, we have lost so many Ugandans. Many of them, we lost them to natural causes, and many of them died of unexplained deaths. We continue to remember outstanding deaths like one of Sheikh Muzata, which up to now is a big question in the minds of all of us. I want to send my heartfelt condolences to all the people that have lost loved ones in the year 2020. Many state-sanctioned murders happened, from the killing of Rita Nabukenya to Dani Cheyune to very many other Ugandans. But again, the world is still trying to come to terms with the November massacre, where more than 100 innocent citizens of Uganda were killed on the orders of General Museveni. We also remember that many people like Omar Bone, like Hussein Walugembe were killed. And in the very recent days, we just buried our comrade, Frank. Frank was murdered, run over by a military police patrol car. And as usual, there was no report, there was no explanation from those that killed him. We've seen journalists attacked, beaten, and as we speak right now, one of the journalists, Ashraf Kasirye, is recovering in hospital with a very deep cut that shattered his skull. I'm happy to report to you that the doctors encouraged us the sheriff will be well, although it will take quite a long time. I was able to visit him and he's responding well, although he's not able to talk, but at least he opens his eyes, which we expected to happen in 2 weeks. By the grace of God, that has happened in just over 48 hours. As I speak to you, ladies and gentlemen, more than 100 of our close working campaign team members are incarcerated. Some are still in Kalangala, some are at Masaka Central Police Station, while others, we are informed, are detained in Kasajagirwa Military Barracks. Those that were able to access them have informed us that they have gone through grave torture. Some of them cannot even stand. Just yesterday, a group of medical doctors was seen at Masaka CPS trying to treat some of our members. These are people that did not have a single wound when they were arrested. And yes, I must say that comrades like Nubian Lee, Dan Magic, and Eddie Mutwe, nobody knows where they are. They were separated from the other detainees, and up to now, we don't know where they are. We only get reports that they've been gravely tortured. We continue to demand for their immediate release. But ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, disagreeing with General Museveni has become a death sentence. We condemn that in the strongest terms possible. This is what General Museveni has always claimed to have fought against. General Museveni has always called swine the regimes that came before him. for abusing the rights of the citizens. Unfortunately, his regime that has become now a regime of blood and national shame is doing the same things or even worse. We have seen abductions of our people. Ladies and gentlemen, the days of Pandagari are back. More than 1,000 of our supporters have been kidnapped. Some are held in military incarceration, while others have disappeared and are not seen to date. We have learned that some have been charged in military court. Innocent citizens, they are charged in military court and they are remanded, while some of them are not seen at all. We have also seen a wave of attack on sports people, and in particular the boxers. Some more than 20 days ago, a renowned professional boxer who is retired, Justin Juko, was arrested in Masaka. And it was until a few days ago that he was released without any charges. Juko was held in military detention without any knowledge and without any access of his family, lawyers, or doctor. We are also aware that a one Joe Vegas Rubega, a champion boxer attached to the National Unity Platform, was arrested, and up to now nobody knows where he is. We are also informed that Coach Chiza, who runs a gym in Chisenyi at Social Center, was abducted by the military, and up to now we have not known where he is. Ladies and gentlemen, as if that is not enough, all of you woke up to the brutal murder of a renowned boxer, Isaac Ssenyange, popularly known as Zebra Mando. Zebra was a personal friend to me, but he was a friend to so many people. Zebra was a boxer, and I trained with him in the past days. Zebra was a strong supporter of the National Resistance Movement, the NRM. But Zebra was attacked by security personnel and was brutally murdered in his home in Bwaise. We all didn't believe, because he was murdered in the same way as Abiriga was murdered, in the same way as Afande Chirumira was murdered, in the same way as Kawesa was murdered. Same style, execution style. It was until General Museveni came up on the 31st of December 2020 and indeed made it clear that Zebra was murdered by security. He went ahead to explain that security had gone to arrest Zebra and question him, but they ended up murdering him. What the world doesn't understand is how security goes to question a renowned supporter of the regime, murders him and leaves him where he was murdered. Nobody has been arrested in connection to the murder of Zebra. We only know that the president called the widow and sent a condolence money to the widow. This is the same thing that General Museveni has been doing, always being the first person to show up on the murder scenes of the people. But again, making sure that no report is made. As we all know, no report came out of the murder of Kawesa. No report came out of the murder of Kagezi. No report came out of the murder of Afande Chirumira. And we know that no report will come out of the murder of Zebra. Nchikutekako Mwami Museveni, you are responsible for the death of these young people. We cannot wait to live in a Uganda where life is precious, where the lives of young people is taken seriously, is valued. It's on the same note that I want to mention that it is not only Zebra that was murdered, but also a young man called Robert Mukasa, who was Zebra's close friend. He was arrested by the same security on the day Zebra was murdered. The following day, Robert was found in Bombo, dead and abandoned in a bush. I've already mentioned that so many people have been abducted. Many are rotting in jails while others are still missing. And it is our pledge that the first thing that we'll do when we get into power is to free all the political prisoners, all the prisoners of conscience that have been incarcerated by the Museveni regime. And we know that that day is not far from where we are. Ladies and gentlemen, now that we have completed 2020, now that we've stepped strongly, firmly and confidently into the year 2021, we can only praise the Almighty God. We can only say, Ebenezer, thus far the Lord has brought us. In the new year 2021, we choose hope over fear. We choose confidence over doubt. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the year that we all have been waiting for. This is 2021. We have been planning for this year. We've been waiting for this year. And now we are here. Like Shakespeare said one time, that let us remember and celebrate. Let us eat and drink to the general happiness of the company and our friends that have not made it. But we are here. We are in 2021. And we've always been saying Mission 2021. This is the year to accomplish our mission. We have 12 days from today. 12 days. But I would rather look at it from the point of view of 10 days of campaign. 10 more days. So, we have 10 days to determine the future of our country. We have 10 days to determine the fate of Uganda. We have 10 days of campaign and 12 days to a historical election. It is this election where we are going to determine whether we shall remain slaves in our own country or whether we shall free up. It is in this election where we are going to decide whether our lives are going to be precious and valuable or we are going to continue dying like useless creatures in our own country. It is those 12 days, ladies and gentlemen. I want to make a clarion call to all the people of Uganda. I call upon you, ladies and gentlemen, to rise up and accomplish the mission that we have all been preaching. I want to call upon you to turn out in large numbers and vote. I want to encourage all of you to dedicate these remaining 12 days. To dedicate these days to the future of our country. I've said it before, ladies and gentlemen, and I want to say it again, that we are non-violent. General Museveni has tried everything possible to project us as violent so that he can be able to respond to us with violence. I say it one more time, that we are non-violent. We are just Ugandans. We are farmers. We are border riders. We are nurses. We are doctors. We are teachers. We are lawyers. We are people of Uganda that are determined to change the fate of their nation. We are Uganda. We are the National Unity Platform. We want to change our country, and we are doing that peacefully. So, to the people of Uganda, turn up in big numbers and vote. That is the only solution. We've called upon you in the past to register massively as voters, and you did so. We called upon you to open your eyes, and you did so. We called upon you to spread the message of freedom, and you did so. Now is the time to vote. This is no usual election. This is a revolutionary election. So let's come out in big numbers and vote it is on the 14th of January 2021 when we are going to change the fate of Uganda. We know that the regime is planning on a lot of things. We know that the regime is planning to cut off the internet. We know that the regime is planning to cut off mobile money services. We know that they are planning to cut off electricity. We know that they are even planning a lockdown. We know they are planning massive arrests, which they've already started doing. We know that they have already arranged fake terrorist centers in Mbuya barracks and other military centers. We know that they have carried out and they continue to carry out massive arrests. So prepare for that. They intend to deploy the military everywhere to intimidate people, to stop people from voting. But I want to encourage all of you, one, turn out in large numbers and vote. And after that, please keep a safe distance, but continue watching the proceedings. Don't go back home. Let us dedicate the 14th of January to our nation. Everything that we are encouraging you to do is legal, it is constitutional, and nothing is criminal. We also know that the Electoral Commission intends to delay voting materials in some areas, particularly in Kampala, in Wakiso, in Mukono, and in areas of Masaka. We also know that they are intending to announce results very late. We want to appeal to you, Mr. Byabakama and the Electoral Commission, and at the same time warn you that the people of Uganda are not going to accept that. You've done that in the past, but you're dealing with a totally different generation. So, the more you really disrespect the people of Uganda, the more you will be accountable for any result of a bad election. It is in your best interest and in the interest of the people of Uganda that you respect their voices. Now to Mr. Museveni. General Museveni, we are not asking for anything from you, General Museveni. All we are saying is keep your word. Keep your word. In Africa, they teach us that a man is noble if he's a man of his word. What we're saying is keep your word. Respect the words that you said when you are a young man. You called Obote and Amin swines for disrespecting the rights of the people of Uganda. You are abusing the rights of Ugandans much worse than the previous regimes. Respect your word. We are not violent. We are not up for violence. But again, we are not going to be silent in the face of oppression. We have said it before and we are saying it again. We are not your slaves. We are the people of Uganda. We are the young people whose future you have robbed away from us, whose parents have died because of your misrule, whose brothers and sisters you are continuing to kill, whose parents lost it all, whose future has gone and we are trying to reinvent it. Be a man of your word. General Museveni, you cannot kill all of us. You cannot. It is unfortunate, very unfortunate, to see that once a prized revolutionary, you have decided to bury your legacy in muck. But again, if that's what you have chosen, that is your decision. However, I tell you today, like I've told you in the past, that you either respect the voice of the people of Uganda, or you will end up like all the other despots have ended up. Oppressed people cannot remain oppressed forever. And for as long as I still have the breath in my body, I will open my mouth and tell you the truth. And I hope that message is received by you with an open heart. We respect you, but we would rather you respect yourself as well. Now, to the people of Uganda, we've told you before, we tell you again, that be non-violent, be peaceful, but be assertive. I say it again, be non-violent, be peaceful, but be assertive. Your right is your right, and nobody can and should take away that right from you. Please use your smartphone. Use your smartphone. That smartphone is a very powerful weapon. We've moved the entire country from the north to the south and central, from the west to the east. We've been confronted with soldiers and police officers armed to the tooth. But we've noticed they fear one thing, that is the camera. So we are calling upon you to use your smartphone, use your camera as much as possible. Go live whenever you can. Expose, expose, expose. As much as you can expose. I want to also ask you, on the day of elections, the 14th of January 2021, please make sure you record the proceedings, but most importantly, that particular time when the returning officer is announcing the result, make sure you capture that. Make sure you capture that particular moment. I know that we are very many Ugandans, and I know that we can do that as a nation, as a population. All we want is clarity. So make sure you capture that. I also want to use this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to announce that for the last few months we have been building an application that is going to help us tally our election, to tally our results. That application is called Dido. Excuse us, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say this again. I want to take this opportunity to announce to the nation and to the world that for the last few months we have been building an application that will help us bring together the results of this election. That application is called You Vote, and you will be able to access it from Google Play Store in the next few hours. This application will help us ensure that we tighten every noose that the dictatorship was trying to use to rig our vote. With that application, you ensure that you get the declaration form and send it to that app. You take a picture of the DR form and send it to that app. That can be done by our agents, but it can also be done by any citizen, because this is not only about agents, this is about all the people of Uganda. And I want to invite all the people of Uganda to kindly be part of this, because this is going to be historical. Finally, I want to warn all the people that Museveni intends to use to brutalize our people, to kill our people, and to stay for the voice of the people of Uganda. Brothers and sisters in the armed forces, brothers and sisters in police, all brothers and sisters in uniform and in security agencies, I want to remind you that the majority of you are young people. Choose the side of the people of Uganda, and not the side of an aging dictator who is clearly on his way out. You have read from history, from the past history and even the recent history. There is no reason why you would abuse your oath. You were not trained to kill Ugandans. You were not trained to brutalize people. You were trained to keep law and order. You were trained to keep the citizens of your country safe. So, it is upon you to make this historical decision, because this is about yourself, this is about your future, this is about your children's future, and it's about the future of your children's children. We all can live in a good country, in a Uganda where soldiers are loved by citizens, where police officers are respected by citizens, where police officers are not ordered to kill or brutalize citizens against their will. We can do that, ladies and gentlemen. So I appeal to all of us to use our conscience. I want to appeal to you not to be robots. Be human beings. You are citizens. You are men and women of honor. You wear our national badge and our national flag with honor. You deserve dignity. You don't deserve shame. I want to thank all of you for listening to me, and I want to request you to spread this message far and wide. Thank you very much, for God and my country, and I wish you a very happy New Year 2021. Thank you.